Hello and welcome to this edition of You and the Law. On You and the Law, I basically add law to the news. I discuss the issues of law in the breaking news items, and my mission is to ensure that everybody understands the basic principles of law as much as possible. My name is Ekeminudim. I am a legal practitioner, and I'm always glad to know that you are there, keeping me company on this channel. In this edition of You and the Law, I am discussing Cubana'S mother's funeral. I'm discussing the issues of law that arose from that funeral. It was a society funeral. A lot of people attended, a lot of people. In fact, it became a trending thing at the time. Now, it was for a reason that I did not want to make this video immediately after the funeral of that wonderful woman. I had to allow it for some time before making this video. But there's no way I can discuss the issue of law here without remembering what happened at that funeral. I'm talking about the splashing of money, the spraying of money by the guests at that funeral. There are so many videos to show a lot of people coming with stacks of money, naira notes, and then splashing these notes on Cubana himself, splashing these notes on other persons. Just dance a little, and as much as thousands and millions of naira, would be spread on you. And it was something that got the entire Nigerian community talking. Even outside Nigeria, they talked about that very funeral because of the way money was being spread everywhere and so on. Now, this video is not about Cubana. Neither is the video about the mother of Cubana. It's about the law, in this very practice of spraying money. And like I said, there's no way we can discuss this without mentioning that very funeral. Now, the practice of having to spread the naira notes is a recurring thing in the Nigerian society. But what's the issue of law surrounding this? Does the law permit that you take clean naira notes and then start spraying them on the ground, on the floor, and so on? That's my mission on this very edition of You and the Law. Now, naira is usually referred to as legal tender. And that's the same thing that other currencies of the world are being referred to as legal tender. So there is law in the currency of any country. There are issues of law therein. But before I proceed, let's even watch a few of the videos, or let me say at least one or two videos of the splashing of the currency at Cubana'S mother's funeral. Okay, so you saw exactly how it went. For these friends, they just came to celebrate with their very good friend Kobana and to show him love by, pumping the money in, spraying it like that, and so on. But what does the law say about this? The law does not permit the spraying of the Naira notes at any public function whatsoever. It doesn't permit it. Now, if you look at the Central Bank of Nigeria Act, it prohibits the spraying of Naira notes at any function, be it funeral, be it birthday party, be it naming ceremony, be it wedding, traditional marriage, or anything. The position of the law is that no one should spray the Naira notes. It's called defacing of the Naira notes. So when you splash the Naira notes on the floor like that and so on, people march on them, people squeeze it, squeeze the Naira notes and so on. That practice is seen to be defacing of the Naira note. And like I said, the Central Bank of Nigeria Act punishes that very action. And so if someone is arrested by the security agencies, taken to the law courts, and then arraigned for the offense of spraying Naira notes, that person, if God is not on his side, is very likely going to be convicted and sentenced to terms of imprisonment. So that shows you clearly that the practice of spraying Naira notes everywhere and so on in public functions is something that the law has prohibited. The Central Bank Act makes it an offense, and if someone is found guilty by a court of law of competent jurisdiction, the person is sentenced to 6 months imprisonment or 50,000 naira fine. Now, what happens in most cases is that the person is not allowed to pay the fine. The judge would say that the two sentences should run concurrently. You pay the fine and also serve prison term. The judge has the discretion in law, has the power in law to make that pronouncement that a person who has been found guilty of the splashing of Naira notes in public functions is sentenced to 50,000 naira fine and also sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. I know very well that the 15,000 naira fine is not the issue. After all, if a man splashes 1,000,000 naira and then you ask him to pay 50,000 naira fine and walk away, a lot of people will not mind. They will keep spraying the money and then paying the fine. But it goes beyond that because most judges know very well that the payment of 50,000 naira fine is not the issue. It's not a problem to those that have the clean notes to spray. So they will insist that the person should go to prison and then serve 6 months imprisonment. And I think that one will pain someone very well. A businessman who has to go to prison and serve 6 months imprisonment, 6 months is a very long time for the businessman. And a family man who leaves his family to go spend 6 months in prison, 6 months is a long time. And the Nigerian prison place, the Nigerian prison custody, is not a playground. It's not a place that millionaires would like to go there and spend 6 months imprisonment. So you now understand that the law does not allow the splashing of Naira notes. And when you look outside Nigeria, I have not seen, maybe you have seen, but I have not seen a situation where in a public function where someone is celebrating a wedding, having his wedding ceremony or having a naming ceremony or having a funeral, I have not seen the currency of any country, being splashed the way the Nigerian currency is being splashed. Now, my mission here is to let you know that you can package your money, put it in an envelope, and then give it to your friend. You can parcel your money in a bag if the money is so big, and then hand it over to your friend without having to do that public show of splashing the money and then running into problem with the law. I do hope you have learned one or two things about the issues of law surrounding the splashing of the Naira note during public functions. And I do hope that moving forward, you will advise yourself as appropriate. Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to this channel so that from time to time, we can continue to share and discuss the various issues of law surrounding the legal system in Nigeria. Thank you for watching. My name remains Ekeminudim. I'm always glad to be your host on this show. Please do remain blessed.